Welcome to this look at new mods on Farming Simulator 22 with me, MrSealyp. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Tuesday the 23rd of April. We've got a lot of new mods and we've got a few updates which I'll get onto momentarily. This is going to be in two parts. It has to be, because the amount of mods we've got some packs, we've got some stuff that's going to require a bit of extra explanation. The first part, which you're watching now, is going to be mostly buildings, productions. There's a really cool customizable modular shed haul pack we're going to have a look at. But I'm going to throw in two vehicles. From the thumbnail, I don't, because otherwise it's all buildings, all vehicles. So a couple of vehicles, one you can see in front of you and the other one's behind it. But anyway, that being said, updates. The map Millennial by MA7 Studio has had an update. Doesn't say if it needs a new save game or not, that one. The Bison pack by Deus Vault. The Reaper 2000 Harvester by Mac Trucker 921. The Lizard TAC 10500 by Senior Vertex and Teak Modding. The SIP Roto 220F by Wolfex Modding and White Ball Modding. The Lizard Meadow 99 by Hydraulic. The Indoor Camera Auto Rotation by Kenny456. The Orchards and Greenhouses by Mr. Hector. And the Sugar Beet Processing Plant by Vertex Design have all had updates. So as I said, I'm going to start with a couple of vehicles, then we go on to the sheds, buildings, all of that. And then we'll do the machinery and vehicles, main vehicles in the next one. It's the only way I can do it. There's a map out today as well, so I will get onto all of this as soon as I possibly can. So this actually came out yesterday. I didn't think we were getting any mods, and then quite late this dropped, so I thought I'd add it in today. This is the Jacto Uniport 8030 NPK. This is by Jacto and Connect Modding. 54.2 megabytes download, 35 slots on console with a 50-meter spread width. This will do fertilizer or lime. I put lime in it because sometimes the lime doesn't spread at the same width as fertilizer does, and it says 50 meters, so we'll give it a go. Really nicely made, nicely detailed. I'll tell you what though, the engine on this sounds absolutely fantastic. So I thought we'd have a look at this one first, the options on it and how it runs, and then behind that, oh, very nice. So let's start off with this. If we go to our vehicles, crop protection, both of these under crop protection actually. So the Jacto Uniport MPK is right there. 489,000 for the base model. Slot count will come down to 2. And we've got options here of 3 different tyres. This one, that one, or that one. And then back in. Then you've got film on the glass, 25%, 50%, 75%, or back to 0. License plate optional. That's it. Tank capacity is 8,000 litres. We'll jump in, start it up. Listen to that. Beacon. Horn. Lights. Cover open. Like I say, I have put lime in it. But if you look at the bar, the partial width, normally you can change the width on these in increments, and when I say increments, like big chunks, this is every 2 meters, so I can change my partial width from 50, 48, 46, 44, all the way down in 2 meter increments, all the way down to 4. I don't think I've come across one that does it like that before. We can also change the wheel track. There we go, that one. Right stick side to side, so we can go right out wide or bring it right in narrow for down the road. We have got R1 and right stick up and down does the blind in the window, so we go internally. There you go. That's R1 and right stick up and down does the blind. Then L1, R1 and right stick side to side does the door. Interior light comes on as well. Very cool indeed. So what we'll do, yeah, this doesn't have, if it had fertilizer maybe we get a double application potentially, but because we've got lime in it, let's spin this around. This should go at 50 meters. Listen to that though. Let me just drive it first. Look at that suspension. So the airbags on there, the air ride suspension, that is so cool. I love that. Right. That looks like 50 meters to me. So fertilizer, or lime at 50 metres. That is the Jacto Uniport 8030 NPK by Jacto and Connect modded. I say that's one of the nicest sounding vehicles I've heard for quite some time. I like that. Next, we've got this. This is the TerraGator 9205 by FA285634. This is 10.33 megabytes download, 7 slots, 24 metre spread width. That's a lot of numbers, isn't it? 24 metre spread width. You'll find this in the same location as you just saw it. Right there, 175,000. This has quite a trick up its sleeve. 45,000 litre standard capacity, or unreal 500,000 litres. 1,570 horsepower, standard. Where it says chassis colour, that's the main colour of the vehicle, so we can change the main colour of the vehicle. Design 2 does that back gate door section. Change that to red. And then the rim colour, anything you want. Let's go green so it stands out. Those are your options. Now this one, because we've got manure in it, let's start out. Horn, beacons, lights. I do like the lights on the side there, just lighting up the side of the Challenger logo, which is pretty cool. So we have to open this up, unfold, opens that door up, which is one of the colour options we had. And then we can turn on manure spreader, and this one does have the option to activate double application. So this will do 24 metre spread width. Up to 27 miles an hour on the road. Let's turn this on, full spreading. With a 500,000 litre capacity, this is going to last quite a while. Turns on a dime because that front steer, that's very cool. Look at that, almost on its own axis. Yeah, length, something like that. It's a beast. I must admit, when I first got in it, I thought, I did wonder if the size was wrong, whether it just wasn't scaled properly. But when you look at, you know, the person sitting in it, it's absolutely bang on. It is a big piece of kit, isn't it? Very cool. So that's the TerraGator 9205 by FA285634. Let's crack on and get all these buildings done, shall we? Same buildings, and we're starting off with some fencing, but that's all right. So we have in front of us the Meadow fence by MoosAgrar, 0.54 megabytes download, 1 slot, and then £100 euro or dollar, and then up, depending on how far the distance you decide to place your fence in. These are the posts. There's your barbed wire. Putting in is done as you do with most fencing, vineyards, those kind of things. Drag it, stop it, change direction. If you want to delete it, you can delete it in sections. Under build mode, under decoration, under fences, out on the end there. So, as I said, put it down, drag it, stop, change direction, stop, however you want to go about it, it's entirely up to you, like so. And if you want to remove, go to our demolish, and normally, there you go, so you can remove it in a whole row, just follow it along while you're deleting, like that. Or if you put a load in and you think, actually, I want to take a section out, you can take a section out to put in a gateway, or you just want to leave a gap, or whatever you want to do, it's entirely up to you, so it can be removed like that. Nice and straightforward. The Meadow fence by MoosAgrar. Next to that, we've got this. This is representative of quite a few, I shall say. This is the Vegetable Warehouse Pack by Vanquish 081, 2.13 megabytes download. There are 8 in this pack. They're 5 slots each, 14,000 each. This one is for carrot and parsnip. Everything's nicely labelled, so you shouldn't, make a mistake with what you're doing. Actually, I'm saying that, I'm going to double check something, because I think that label might have come up because I just backed up and unloaded carrot. I didn't actually look to see which one was which. Double check that. And the build mode and silos is where you'll find them. So, as I said, there are a few. Starting there, you've got a forage and silage warehouse. So each side will hold 600,000 litres. It's not 600,000 litres combined. Each side will do 600,000. So forage and silage warehouse, grapes and olives warehouse, lime and manure, potato and sugar beet, sugarcane and sugar cut, carrot and parsnip, beet and straw warehouse, grass and hay warehouse. I think that's it. So what I'm going to do, let's just try this, turn this one round. So that's the beetroot, and you know what? It's got on the side, you can just see there the straw one. Turn that way, you can see the beet. I didn't even notice those, and I backed up with the carrots in the correct one, just completely by accident. So there you go, 600,000 litres of each. This one I've only put, because what I did was put 500,000 litres in there, then backed up with the trailer for this one to see if it hit 500,000 litres combined and stopped, I would know, but it carried on going. So, okay, that's all right. But then I wanted to just double check just to make sure. So there you go. And then taking out is done around the back. As we can see, just here. Let's turn that on. So take our carrots out. Nice sound effect on that. There we go. Lovely job. That's the Vegetable Warehouse Pack by Vanquish081. Next up, we've got this. This is the Sheep Barn. This is by BrudiTV. It is 5.12 megabytes download. It will hold 450 sheep, 19 slots, 585,000 to buy, and it will also earn you 2,400 per calendar month because it has got solar panels on the roof. This has colour options as well for the siding. As you can see, we've gone for sort of a creamy yellow, but it does have siding options on there as well. Plenty of doors, as you can see, like so. Feed is done in here. There's no bedding required. The bedding's in here already. When you open these side doors round here, we've got the main door here. If I close that gate, it does the big door. But if I open that, then in the middle here, we've got open gate. You can open the centre section as well. If you want to come into the middle, you don't have to, but if you want to add a bit of immersion in it, you absolutely can. If I swing around the outside there, so let's say plenty of doorways. Now if we come in here, this way your wall pallets will spawn, and our light switch, was it over here? Where was our lighting? Oh, there we go. Turn on or off shed lights. There you go. So, under build mode, animals, and then under sheep, right there, out on the end, slot count will come down to 1. Colour options on this, I'll just put it there over the top. We'll scroll through. So colour options, should you choose, and you can see the solar panels on the roof as well. So plenty of colour options to choose from as well. That's the Sheep Barn by BrudiTV. Next up, we've got this. This is the old barn. I thought we'd had one like this already, but I think it had curtains around more sides. Anyway, that being said, old barn. This is by VN11.0, 11.0. 30.19 megabytes download, 40 slots, and 63,000 to buy. No colour options. You get it just like this. Doors, drive-through on this side, just here. Now, I couldn't find a light switch on this one. I'm not saying there isn't one, I just couldn't find one. But like I said, drive through. Go to this side. I was just looking around to see if I could find something. I thought it might be here. Is it here? No, nothing coming up for lighting. Anyway, and we come around to this side here. These can be opened. So open gates just opens those curtains if you want to open those for storage. And then we've got a drive-through sort of garage for headers, or what, again, whatever you want to, it's up to you. That's got a flat roof over it because we have got a ladder that goes up to a kind of hay loft up the top there. So if you want to store pallets, hay bales, anything like that up the top on there, you absolutely can. This you'll find under build mode and sheds. Right there, slot count comes down to 2. That's the old barn by VN11.0. Next we've got this. I haven't actually been in this. I suddenly realised I've been setting all this out. I've only done the first part. This is really nice, actually. I like this. This is a little bit like the people getting garden cabins and stuff built. But when you go up to Lake District now, there's a lot of places that are having yurts. Lots of farms are having buildings like this put up for glamping, like glamping pods. I like that. It's really cool. Anyway, this is the Loft Style Summerhouse by ikas. 5.03 megabytes download, 15 slots, 25,000. This has colour options on it as well. If we open the gate, this is under build mode and farmhouses. It's actually pretty cool. It's the front gate. Oh, it does open it. Patio door on the front as well. Sliding door. Do they still call them patio doors? I suppose they do. Come around the back here. Sleep trigger around the back. Pretty fancy. Little futon bed. suppose you could sleep there. Pallet bed. Could do with a mattress though, to be fair. But under build mode, as I said, and farmhouses go along to there. Next one in, swing that around, and our colour options on this one as well. Like so. That's very nice. That's the Loft Style Summerhouse by ikas. It's just the list is so ridiculously long. I'm looking down. I keep looking down to my notes trying to find everything. Right, next we've got this. This is the Swedish Machinery Hall. This is by Limpen. It is 2.45 megabytes download, 4 slots, and 25,000 to buy. This one didn't have a colour option on it. This is under build mode and sheds, I think it was. Third one in, just there. Slot count comes down to 1. I'm going to double check that. Yeah, no colour option on that. So, large sliding door. I would say at the front, again, it depends which way around you've put it. That could be the front, that could be the side. If you put it that way around, this is the front, that's the side. It's entirely up to you. Shed lights. There's not an actual light switch. You just some sheds you get this when you come in. It will just come up with turn on or off shed lights. Nice and clean and tidy. Cavernous. Very high roof is this as well. That's the Swedish Machinery Hall by Limpen. Next, we've got another pack. And this is by the SuBBie and BlobbyFarmer. This is the Millennial Farms Shed Pack. So the sheds from the Millennial Farmers farm. This is 31.74 megabytes download. We've got the 2 sheds, the main shed and what they call the toy shed that has all the sort of the play equipment. It sounds ridiculous, but they're sort of racing cars and all the stuff they use like that. Both the sheds are 7 slots. The large one's 90,000. The smaller one is 25,000. Now under tools, we have got the Millennial Farms garage workshop, the main workshop. That's, like I say, that is under tools. That's 46 slots and 180,000. There's no colour options on these because these are how they are. IRL, apparently. Come in the door. Large machine door just here. Now, I'm just wondering, actually, I'm not sure if this is the... there we go, open door. That's for that one, isn't it? That door. There we go. This might be the old shed. I'm trying to think because they had that big storm and the big machine shed like this got blown down. The new one has got a dirt floor, not a concrete floor. But anyway, that being said, it's still a massive building. Where was the light switch? Over here, wasn't it? There we go. Turn on lights. Across there. There's another big door down the side there. If we come into this one. Got the door on the side. Small door there. This has got 2 light switches. So you've got left side and right side. Turn that off. There you go. That's that side. Go to that one. Now, where are we? Turn on lights. There we go. So 2 light switches, 2 sets of lights left and right. This side door is a roller door. This one here, each side opens independently. That one and that one. So that's the second shed. Both of those, I said, found under sheds, and this one is found under tools. The 2 large doors at the front. We do have light switches here as well. I love the way they turn on and off. That's so cool. Workshop trigger is just here. Large door at that side, large door at this side. I'm sure on these, the workshop trigger, the previous one, or was that on the map? The workshop trigger was actually in the office. So there's light switches all over the place. Upstairs, there's a little bedroom up there. I didn't even know. Is that? I'm not sure if I remember seeing that on the channel. But anyway, there's a little bed up here. A curiosity with a mirror. But all very well done. Nicely made and detailed. Plenty of space in this. Storage for all the filters and the various bits and bobs they have. In there. Nice animations, nice sound effects. Very cool buildings. That's the Millennial Farms Shed Pack by the SuBBie and BlobbyFarmer. Next, we've got this. This is representative of 3. This is the smaller of the 3. There are colour options on this as well, which I'll show you momentarily. This is the Implements Shed Pack by LegacyAg-LAC. 10.26 megabytes download. They're 9 slots each, but varying prices. As you can imagine, we have a light switch, which is right in the middle. It's middle post. There we go, just here. So we can turn our lights on or off here. I think the exterior lighting comes on automatically at night. I'm just trying to think. Does that change when I turn those on? No, it's just interior. Okay. So we go into our build mode, go to sheds, and we want to go back this way. So there we go. This one's 65 grand. Next one is 70,900, and you'll see as we swing it round, that's the smaller one. This one is a little bit longer, and then for 75,900 we've got that one, which is even longer still. And then, like I said, color options does the sidewall. If I scroll down, there we go, so you can see there, color options, we can change the sidewall on those and scroll through the color choices on that. That's the Implements Shed Pack by LegacyAg-LAC. Next to that, we've got this. These are lovely, really nicely made. I think they look fantastic. That's picturesque in its own right, that one, isn't it? This is the Old Village Building Pack by BerNieScs. 48.91 megabytes download. 11 slots for the church in the background. Then the 3 buildings are 20 slots each, and there are 3. There's this one here. Like I say, you can't go into them, but they do look fantastic. I don't think there are colour choices on these ones. I think you get them just as they are. It looks like an old tavern from a sort of medieval game kind of thing. Anyway, church is here. We'll double check that. I don't think we can go into it. And then the third of the buildings just here. So build mode, decoration and others is where you'll find them. 35 grand for the church. And then 15 grand for each of the others. I will just double check. No, I don't. We haven't got a colour option on those. They remain like that. Lovely. That's the Old Village Building Pack by BerNieScs. Next, we've got this. There you go, says it right there. Hay Drying Plant M. This is the Hay Drying Plant M by DS Power, 5.6 megabytes download. 14 slots, 25,000 to purchase. This does require diesel. I think it's because it runs on a burner. So you've got different ones to produce hay using straw as the fuel source, using diesel as the fuel source, or wood chips as the fuel source. I think that's the premise behind it. Putting is done here at the front. You can tip in, but the trigger comes up to unload from a trailer here. Taking out when you've got your hay is done just there. And then we've got our manage plant here. So if I turn each of those on, cycles per month aren't particularly high, but the recipes are in their thousands anyway, so it'll produce pretty quickly. As you can see, I've got them all going. If you don't want to have to buy diesel, then you haven't got to run the diesel one. If you've got straw knocking around and you've got some wood chip knocking around, you can run those, but all 3 of those will produce hay coming out of the other side. This you'll find under build mode, under production and factories. Right there, slot count comes down to 1, the Hay Drying Plant M by DS Power. Now, I was going to say, this is the end of part 1. This brings me to the last of the mods for part 1. And when I say the last of the mods, oh, blimey, this is one of those, there's a lot going on this. I haven't completed a single building, and I haven't completed them on purpose. Well, a bit of both, really. You can design and create sheds to your heart's content, all sort of different designs. Obviously you can see that's free floating at the moment. It's not supposed to be free floating. There's a lot going on here. So this is the Hall Configuration Wood by farmerfivetom. 17.21 megabytes to download. We do have a few different elements to this. I had to write a whole separate set of notes for this one. There are some instructions that go with this about the order of operation and the best way to set this up. I found not an issue per se. Oh, I don't know, maybe it is an issue. Right, so let me just read this out to you, just I'd say we don't get it wrong. So after you level the terrain, and I'll show you that in a moment, It's best to build the side walls first, then the roof, and finally the side walls. I'm not sure if it means the end walls, then the side walls, the gable ends, so there are no gaps. I also recommend using the grid mode and placing the buildings at 90-degree angles, so that when you top left, when you go to place, and I'll show you in a moment, you can have it turned on or off, so you've either got it moves in increments or it moves smoothly. If you do it in the increments, then you know you can line everything up properly. If you do it yourself and you get one side out of alignment, it can cause all sorts of problems. It's also important to make sure you do not target the previous module, otherwise they will be placed on top of each other. What I found was there's some modules that come with this pack as well. We've got a workshop module. I've left them outside just so you can see them. So once placed, you've got your workshop trigger. We've got it says straw, so this is a bale storage, 250. And then we've got, where's the pallet one? Oh, the pallet one I put inside these walls just over here. The pallet one, also 250. So slightly separate. But also having a look round, you've got gable ends like this. The animations, sound effects, all of them are absolutely brilliant. You also see there's sections of the roof missing. Colour options are also available, which I wanted to show you, because you can change the colour of the wood siding, so you can add a stain to it. On these ones, I've gone with different colour stains to show you there are some different options on these. We've got overhead doors as sidewall sections. And when you place these roofing sections, you can see these concrete sections going down, these floor sections. So the concrete floor goes down, is linked to the roofing sections. And again, I've left some gaps there. And I'll show you. I'm not going to build an entire building, but I'll show you. Now, one thing I did find, which I thought was curious, was you've got standard wall sections, then you've got high wall sections, you've got standard roof sections and high roof sections. Now the gable ends, all of the gable ends come down to a low point. So if you are going to use the high sides have to be brought in a little bit. There are some awnings you can put on, so if you're going to use the gable ends, what you can do, I think I did one over here, if you use the high sides with the gable end and then put an awning, there you go. So gable end on the end, high-sided roof panels or sidewalls, I think, at the bottom, then an awning. So you can have it with a smaller shed with awnings off the side. You can have a full roof, full siding, all that. Like I said, there are so many options. I mean, this in essence could have been an entire mod review on its own, because there's so much. So these are the different gable ends, as you can see. You've got a gable end without door with windows. We've got a gable end with door and windows. Then you've got the gable end without windows or door. Do we have one with windows? Do we have one with a door? I can't remember now. I think we did. Then there are some narrow ones, which are these ones over here. And again, you then choose your configuration. The ones that are going to make this even more modular, rather than just having rectangular buildings, and this is where your inner architect will come out, is these roof sections that come down at an angle, because that allows you to change direction of the roof. So you can change the direction of the shed, so you can make L-shaped ones. You can, I mean, like say, however you want to go about it is up to you. But there's a whole ton of stuff going on here. So I'll show you that all in the build mode, and I'll explain the one problem I came up against, and we'll see. There's also some build plates which I don't think I've ever encountered before, which are curious to say the least. So if we go into build mode, I'll show you the additions first. So under tools, just there, we've got the workshop module. That's 15 slots. Normally that comes down to 1. That's $5,000. We've already seen that in the background. That's your workshop module. Then everything else is under sheds. So if we go to our sheds and we scroll across, we get to the first section here, which is your roof sections. Now it does say you want to start with the floor, but what you want to start with are these. So these here are this says flattens, 20 metre by 20, 20 by 30, 25 by 40, 40 by 40. So if you want to flatten your ground first, you pick one of those. I'll put one of those over the back there, spin it round, whatever. Like I say, I've got my snapping on. You want toggle free mode on. If you have it turned off, it won't flatten the ground. So this is designed, if you've got a patch of ground that's not level and you want it to be level, I don't know if I've got any actually. This is the one map where everything's pretty flat anyway. But then what you do is you place this first. It only costs 50. You place that, which flattens the ground for you. And if we go into build mode and we go to demolish and then demolish it like so, you should have a nice flat area that size. That's the point of those pads. So where it says flattens, that's what those are for. So start off with that. Now, I then went on to, and you've got here, we've got our module for pallet storage. So I'll show you that. So there's your module for pallet storage. I think it's one slot, that, and then the one for straw storage is 2 slots anyway. They both come down to 1. And then they can be placed wherever you want to place them. But like I say, I'll show you something with those. Then we come on to the gable ends. So we'll pick a gable end. Let's turn this one round, and I'll go through the colour options. So this is the colour options. Actually, it's probably better off that way around, so you can see. There we go. These are our colour options on sidings, on gable ends, roof panels, those kind of things. So you pick your gable ends, whichever ones you want to go for, and there are different sizes. So like I say, if you look here, we've got these larger ones, and then this one on the end here, that one's much smaller. So you've got to decide, be careful what you're going for, and make sure you match them up is what I would suggest. And these are just down as examples. So pick your gable end, put that on, however you want to go about it. Let's just pick one. There you go, there's one with the door. But that is a slightly lower one. Let's put that on the end there. Put that down. Right. So that's your gable ends. Pick those. I mean, I would do gable ends first and then do your walls. Because then you can decide on the length of your barn, then you put your other gable end on. But you have got these ones as well, which are smaller. There are colour options on these as well. You can scroll through different colour options. You can put one of those on if you want to. That's up to you. So we've got different sizes, and then you just pick and choose. It honestly, it's a little bit. I would then go to sidewalls rather than roofs. So we scroll across till we get to our sidewalls. This is what I'm talking about. So you got window sidewall. If I turn that round, because I've got that on, and you can line it up and just move it over till it goes clonk. Again, we can change the colours and then pick it. And away you go. That fits in really nicely. Lovely. Next one along is open-sided. So you've got the open side. You've got one with a door. I've sort of showed you that one already. And then we've got this one, which is just a normal wall panel. And then we move on to the high. So if you go with the high, you'll notice that one's not going to line up. If I bring it in one, it will. So that'll be if you want to go for ones with awnings, like I did over here, whichever one it was, I put an awning on. This one here, you can put your sidewalls on, then you can go for awnings. If you want to go for the open-sided, you can build a whole barn that's all open-sided and have awnings over the side as well. So I can just pick which one I want, go to there, line it up. Is that right? Just there. Put a whole load of those together. There we go, let's line that up. Is that right? Looks it to me. So if you want it all open-sided, you can. If you then decide you want to actually have a door part way in, obviously not about having a door if it's all open-sided. But if you've gone for solid walling like this one, change the colour of that. There we go. And then once you've built everything you want to, all your sidewalls, everything's in. If I swing that around that side, put that up there, like that. You can then put your other gable end on at the other end, or if you want to change direction, you want to do an L shape, you want to put, because we have got these wall sections, we have actually, if you want to go longer, I meant to say that as well, we've got longer wall sections as well. So if you want to go for a quicker build, and as you can see, the floor plates are going in at the same time as well, so you just build it up as you want it. And then we've got the higher ones as well, doubles, if you want to go for doubles, like that. Like so. But if we come back again, we've then got our roof sections. Now the roof sections, well that is actually a sidewall, that one, isn't it? Where's the other one? There is another one. Did I miss it? So that's one of your corner. So if you wanted to change direction of your roof, it doesn't actually line up particularly well with that one, does it? That's curious. Maybe on this one. That line up on that one? I'm no expert, as you can probably tell. Yeah, that's interesting. It doesn't quite line up. Anyway, that being said, that's all your sidewalling, that's your end walling. Then we move on to our roofing. So we come all the way back to here, and then we've got our roofs. So again, you've got your walls. These are the ones with your edges, and that's a high one. So if you did want to change it, that's ridiculously high though. I don't understand. Because there's nothing that goes from that to the next one. That's the high-sided walls. This is the high-sided roof. That just seems... that's way too high. It's the right height because the floor plate's going in. There's nothing that goes between that. Anyway, right, let's go to roof panels. So, if you're going to fill in your roof now, why is that not... I don't understand why that's not lining up properly. Let's pick one over here. There we go. Why is it not working over there? That's peculiar. This is the problem I was having earlier. It doesn't like... there we go. Let's try it from there. Nope. There we go. So that's your high sections for your roofing. So I can put all the high ones in. Well, we do have another, yeah, I've overlapped them slightly. It takes a bit of finessing, which is what you'll find, I would imagine. So if you go for your standard roof, so that's your lower section. If we go over to here, please work. I'm not quite sure why this is doing this. There we go. So it depends what gable end you've gone for. So you've got your side walls, your high walls, you've got your roof sections, your high roof sections. So depending on the size of your gable end you've gone for, I think that was because I went for a smaller gable end, and these ones here are the bigger gable ends. But that should slot into place there. That's why I said this mod review had to take a little bit longer. Yeah, that's one of the lower ones, isn't it? And then you just carry on, just building up however you want to go about it. Sidewalls, roof sections, angled pieces, until you're happy what you've done. Where was the awning? There we go, there's our awning. Let's turn the awning round. Put that into place there. I'm doing this from a distance, I'm not lining it up particularly well, but and we'll whiz through them and have a look. But it does all interlock very well. It's you know, it works really well, and that's just a quick, just to show you these are the pieces. You can spend so long playing around with this. I do like this inner wall section. So using the high walls, but you can, if you want to, you could just use the high walls, I guess. Then you wouldn't have an end on it. But I don't suppose you'd have to. You could have it open-ended if you wanted to. Yeah, I didn't line this up properly, did I? I made a mistake with one of those. That's why there's a gap there. But anyway, all that being said, I like it. I mean, it's a very cool pack. I would say, like, with anything with landscaping, especially anything modular, like the modular greenhouse that came out and all that kind of stuff, is 100% save your game first before you do any of it. And it's going to be one of those things you're going to want to have a real play around with it, have a test map or an area on your map that you want to put placeables on, save your game, play around with it. If it works, great. If it doesn't, you can come back out without saving it again, and obviously it won't remain, and just have a test. But oh, that's what I was going to say. Right, so if I go into the build mode, this is what I was going to show you. I'm glad I remembered. And let's grab that, for example, and put that, if I was going to put that inside the barn. If I put it in now, that's fine. So I can get in the side there and I can put it in. If I come in from the side there, I can put it in, which is great. If I put side walls on everywhere, like this one, it's harder to get it in there. Might be able to get in, there we go. If you open the door, you can get in from the side to put them in. Don't put these in first, Because if you put this in first, if I put this in now, and then decide, right, now I'm going to add my roof in, because I've put that on, so now it's time to put the roof on. If I go to put this on now, it won't like it. So when it goes above that, you notice how high that's gone? That's because it's gone over the top of the bale storage point. So that will not allow that floor plate to touch the floor now, because I've put that bale storage in first. I need to build my roof first, and then put the bale storage in. That's, I guess, kind of, you know, it makes sense. It's common sense, you'd think, but there you go. So I've left a gap there. But it's just something to be aware of. Build your barn first. If you've got doors or whatever it is, open the doors up, especially these large ones here. Open the doors up. Why is it not opening? There we go. And then you should be able to place any of these internal bits from the sides rather than put them in first, otherwise your roof panels won't go on. I hope that's been helpful. It is a complicated thing, and it's going to require a lot of playing around with, but it is incredibly modular. It does, bear in mind as well, I'm on console, and it's not always as easy to line things up, but it does go together. You just got to take your time. So it does go together very well. If I didn't want to put a gable end on, I could just use the high roof sections and just have basically a covered barn if I wanted to go with that. Or put them on the side of buildings that already exist. I mean, that's something. It doesn't have to be modular in that you build this completely from what it is. I didn't even think of that. If you want to build it off the side of a building you've already got, add the roof sections. Yeah, I mean, you could do, couldn't you? There's no reason why not. That's the whole configuration wood by farmerfivetom. That's it for part 1 of the mods for Tuesday, 23rd of April. I hope you found this useful and informative in some way, shape or form. If you have, please give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. I hope you join me for part 2 for all the machinery and the rest of the vehicles. But whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.